What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Kyle. Welcome back to another video. My bad, y'all. I had to put that in there because I've never seen somebody get broke off the jab step like that. But welcome back to another video. Today we have a very important topic to talk about in NBA 2K23. Now, I want to stop y'all from making this huge mistake in NBA 2K23. And this video is centered around one topic in particular. I'm going to go ahead and tell y'all what it is because I got some helpful tips that are going to help y'all in this area. Now, this video is mainly about defense. Now, I got some great tips for y'all. So give me a minute and lock in because I guarantee these tips are definitely going to help you. And it could stop you from making these mistakes if you're getting ready to make a build or make a rebirth build, or it might help you in some mistakes that you're already making in the game. So starting off with my first point, again, remember in the back of your mind that all of these points that I'm giving you are going back to defense. So my first point, when you're making your build, don't mindlessly create the meta build, okay? Don't create the meta build without thinking about how it's gonna affect you in terms of playing in NBA 2K23. Now, what I mean by that is when you see people make meta builds, a lot of people focus on contact dunks and shooting, dribbling, and they forget about defense. Or, you know what I'm saying? You may see some builds that are considered meta, like a 6'1" with a 99 steal, but you know, they may lack block or interior defense or rebounding, or you know, what a lot of people tend to do is they'll just copy someone's build from a YouTube video. I highly recommend that you don't do that, because one of my big tips that I always say in my build videos is to never straight up copy someone's build video, because you can always make a build better. You know what I'm saying? I advocate for using build videos as a template because there's always some way that you can make it better. You know, you may be able to get more badge points or better attributes in a certain category or get better badges, etc. Unless you're completely sold on a build and you know you're not going to want to make anything else, then okay, do what you do. But I recommend that you use all build videos as a template and tweak them to your play style, however you're going to play. Now, getting more into the nitty gritty about the defense, and of course this is going to relate to what builds you make. Why sacrifice and make a 6'1" build that can shoot really well, dribble really well, and still lack defense? Now, you might have a 99 still. It just depends on how you make the build. But let's say you made a 6'1" build that could shoot really well and you were lacking in defense. You didn't have a really good steal. Your perimeter defense is not good. Why make that build? You know what I'm saying? You might be like, oh, well, I could just make that build, you know, be a threat offensively and just play with a lock. You know what I'm saying? Have my homie be a lock. Why just have one of y'all be a lock? Why can't two of y'all be a lock? The more defense you have, the better. Both of y'all can be locks. Both of y'all can be a problem on defense. Both of y'all can have good steal. Both of y'all can have good block. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you're somebody that's only going to play on the twos court, it's going to benefit y'all more if both of y'all can do more than one thing on defense. And if both of y'all can play defense. Surprisingly, it's people out here making builds without defense. Believe me when I tell you, it's people out here making builds that can shoot, that can get contact dunks, that can dribble, but then they choose to sacrifice in the defense, like their defense is just subpar. You know, they may have decent perimeter defense when they don't really have no steal, they can't rebound. Like, those different categories of defense are important, from interior defense all the way down to rebounding. All of that stuff is important. So don't skip out on that. Defense is where it's at. If you're one of my know-it-alls and think you know everything about the game, listen, trust me, I guarantee you could be making one of these mistakes. But you know what I'm saying, this is mostly geared towards my people that may not know, or my new players out there. But you know what I'm saying, I still see people making mistakes when it comes to building their build and not really maximizing it to its fullest potential, or maximizing it to be able to perform well when playing against other people. Even though the game has been out for months, you could have all the other best attributes on your build, but if you lacking in defense or you got subpar defense, then you're only hurting yourself. Every year, a lot of people try to make builds with contact dunks. A lot of people try to make builds with shooting. But this year, you can't get everything when making your build. So you're going to have to sacrifice in some areas. There's no point in making a build, getting gold posterizer or Hall of Fame posterizer, having good shooting, and then having good dribbling, but you don't have defense. Defense is the wrong area for you to try to sacrifice in. Defense is what's going to help you win games. You know what I'm saying? You could have the best offensive build. You know, you can get all the contact dunks you want, but if you can't play defense, you're not going to win games. And there are some things that you need to know about defense. Some people think that you just need to have a really good perimeter defense to be able to play defense well, and that's not it. in my opinion, the most important defensive attributes are block and steal. Perimeter defense is good to have, you know what I'm saying, if you can get something like gold clamps, but no, gold clamps is only going to help you so much. Everybody is going to get beat when playing this game. You know what I'm saying? We're human. We're not perfect. Even the people that are really good on defense sometimes get beat. It's inevitable. You could just anticipate the wrong direction and then you just get beat. That's why I think block and steal is most important when it comes to defense, because we're all going to get beat. And what attributes are you relying on the most once you get beat on defense? You're going to rely on steal and you're going to rely on block. Of course, you can cut somebody off, but steal and block are going to help you tremendously on defense. If you get beat, you can try to cut somebody off, get a steal, and get a back tap. You can go chase them down and get a block. So those to me are going to be more beneficial than having really good perimeter defense. Now, I didn't say completely tank your perimeter defense, but I mean, if you got to sacrifice something, if you could get really good steal and really good block and have to sacrifice a little bit on the perimeter defense, I would go that route. You know, for 2K23, a lot of people have been talking about, you know, how overpowered the steals are. Let's just say they nerf the steal. Hopefully they don't, but even if they do nerf the steal, if you got a good steal rating, you're still gonna get more steals than, you know, if your steal was like in the mid 80s or the 70s. So I still think having a good steal is important, even if they decide to nerf it in the future. So having that good steal, having that good block, being able to rebound, all of that stuff is important. Having good interior defense. Now, obviously you can't get all of these things, but I think that having good steal and good block is important. So when you're making your build, if you can make a build that has good steal, good block, if you can get good interior defense, pay attention to what position you're going to play, because you're making a bigger build and you're on the twos court, and depending upon what position you're playing, you're probably going to be guarding the big. So, you know what I'm saying? If you got good interior defense, if you got good block, if you got good steal, all of that stuff is going to help you, because on the twos court, going to be some times where you're going to have to guard the big. If you don't want to get posted up on all day, then having a good steal to be able to get the ball back, because on the twos court, really, it's not even about who has the most skill, it's who can keep the ball longer, in all honesty. Like, if you can score on the twos court, scoring is the most important, and not giving the ball away. Because if you give that ball up and give the team the other opportunity to score and you can't get any stops, then you're going to lose the game. So, you know, being able to have a good steal and get the ball back is what's going to save you, or being able to block and get stops. So like I said, defense is what's really important. We've all had those games where we've lost to a team where we knew for a fact that we were better, but we just weren't getting stops on defense. We just getting cooked on defense. We already knew we had the opportunity to get back on offense, is going to cook them. But you know what I'm saying? Getting those stops is what's really important. And to piggyback off of that, when you're creating a build, it's important that you maximize your attributes. Try not to upgrade unnecessary attributes like speed with ball, for instance. You know, we already know speed with ball this year is really not that effective in terms of being able to dribble good. You don't have to have a really good speed with ball in order to dribble, or doing something else that's unnecessary, like putting up your stamina at max 99. Like, you don't have to do that. You get +4 with gym rats, so you can cap your stamina off at a 95 and put them other little points somewhere else, like a free throw or something, to make your build better. But going off of that, know what your thresholds are and what you need to be able to do what you want to do with your build. So a lot of people like to make builds with contact dunks. In my opinion, you don't need contact dunks. All you really need is quick drops off one, or you can even make you a build that has a good drive and layup and use pro touch. Pro touch is really overpowered this year, but in all honesty, you don't need contact dunks, bro. You can be fine with quick drops off one. You need the 80 driving dunk and a 60 vert. With that being said, why I say know your thresholds, because if all you need is a 80 driving dunk and a 60 vertical, don't try to go down to your physicals and then stop your vertical at a 56 and think that you're gonna get quick drops once you get that gym rat. You have to have a 60 vertical off rip. Like, you can't use that +4 to get you those animations for quick drops. You have to meet the requirement on the threshold first. You know what I'm saying? That +4 is not going to get you quick drops. So if you want quick drops, he has to have an 80 driving dunk and a 60 vertical off rip. You know what I'm saying? Right there with that example with having quick drops versus contact dunks. I know a lot of people like contact dunks, but in all honesty, quick drops are more safer to do than contact dunks. Contact dunks, you already know, it has a higher chance of getting blocked. That's a lot of attribute points that you can put in another category. It's not worth it. You can make your build way more well-rounded if you sacrifice in certain areas, but you got to be smart about what you sacrifice in. And also, My last tip for you is to pay attention to what tier your badges are and how many badge points you have. So make sure you have enough badge points and you allocate your attributes to where they need to be in order to get the badges that you want, all of the badges that you want. So that's really my take on the defense, man. I made a new rebirth build and it has a 92 perimeter defense and a 95 steal. You know what I'm saying? I get gold glove, I get gold interceptor, I can get gold clamps. And I've noticed ever since I've been using this build, I have been getting a lot more steals than my main build. I think my main build has like an 80 steal, but obviously I've been getting more steals, and I now have the ability to get steals when it's most important. Like in a clutch moment in the game where we need a steal, I'm able to do that because now I have that ability with upgrading my steal attribute. I get a lot more steals. So it's literally a game changer, man. Defense, you hear it all the time. Defense wins championships. Defense can make or break a game. Getting a stop is the most important thing. I have an example in this gameplay. We were playing a pretty good team. You know what I'm saying? We were just able to hold on to the ball and score a lot of the time. But once we gave them the ball back, we knew that, they were going to be pretty good. They were one of them was at the pro level and they had some pretty good shooting percentages, but we couldn't give them that opportunity to get the ball back because I'm saying we knew that they were going to score. They were kind of sweaty, but we were able to get the steal back and win the game. That's really important. In some rec games, I've been getting able to get a lot of steals. You see, I got screenshots. One of these games, I got 8 steals. And in the other game, I got a good amount of steals. I've never gotten 8 steals in a rec game, ever. But when you make your build, defense is really important. If you can make a build that has good steal, good block, and you can still get some decent interior defense and some perimeter defense, I would say go that route because all of those are important. If you're going to be guarding bigs, you're going to want to have some decent interior defense or at least have a good block. I hope this video was helpful for you. If it was, go down and subscribe to the channel and give this video a thumbs up. As always, man, be sure to stay safe out here and I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace.